We bought a Boxster for $500 and saved it from the junkyard. Then we took that Boxster, slapped a V8 into it, and are transforming it into a vintage supercar. This is Project Jigsaw. There is something major that needs to happen so that we can actually drive Jigsaw. And what that is this trailing arm that we have mocked up needs to be remade and finalized. Otherwise, this thing is 100% undrivable because it's 100% unsafe. Now, because we extended the wheelbase, we had to extend this rear trailing arm. Right now, it's just mocked up with some flat steel, just so we can lock into place. But if we were to try to drive it, like, this would just wobble in and out, and it would be a complete mess and not work. So my plan here is to 3D scan the arm that we have mocked up, redo it in CAD, and then we're gonna send that file out to have it machined. It should save us a bunch of time, and it should be a really cool end product. Look your hands on there, Tony.
Nice. I want you to 3D print that for me.
No. Definitely gonna have to curve the arm.
That's what these tests are for.
Yeah, something like that. Now that the arm is designed, I'm gonna 3D print it and make sure it fits before we pay a lot of money to have it actually machined. I got this print to be the exact height of the max of my Sidewinder X2 printer. So let's hope that nothing fails over the weekend. I'll check it on Monday morning.
There it is.
Tony.
Yeah. All right, so here we got my bionic thumb with magnetic tip. So it doesn't, I can almost pick things up without the rest of my fingers.
Edward scissor thumbs, but the Wish app version because it doesn't actually work.
You know, it's just like the Bionic Man. You get damaged, and then you just build it back better.
I mean, it's better than looking at your stupid thumbnail, or lack of it. We're gonna tap these threads because 3D printed threads are never that great for use like this.
Tap's running in real easy though.
Yeah, they printed really nicely. I think Amos had it right though. You're the $6 man, not $6 million man.
I don't know if you can buy this for $6.
In this economy, no way.
Yeah. How much do you think the $6 million man would cost in today's dollars?
All right, so we're talking 1973, right?
Okay.
What do you think it is worth today?
64 million.
You're way higher than I thought you would have guessed. It's 41.9.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
It sure is.
There we go.
That didn't even take that much plastic out.
That's a clean print. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna super glue these two halves together. Then we're gonna use a soldering iron to melt it so it stays together. Just because this is just mock-up. This is not actually, you know, gonna be on the car when it moves. The goal here is to make sure that this arm will function and clear everything. It's a good idea to do that before paying a company to machine expensive arms out of 6061 aluminum. It ain't cheap. believe it or not. So I'm gonna use the soldering iron here while this glue is drying, which is probably already almost dry because it's super glue. I'm just gonna melt it. It'll help give it some rigidity so while it dries, it won't move. We also got these spherical rod ends to put on the end of the rod. Wow, that was a terrible laugh.
It was really bad.
It was really bad. So these will make this trailing arm adjustable, and we'll thread in the end of the trailing arm here, provided that Tony tapped it correctly.
That's not really a concern.
I don't know which way to take that. We have our original arm here. I'm going to thread this in to be the exact length. Oh boy.
That's what these tests are for.
I don't, how did that happen? Unless our scan was that far off. I left a good bit of room so this would thread in and still have thread sticking out and be there.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah. In the recent videos, you've probably noticed the new nature B-roll. Well, that comes from me because roughly every day, about lunchtime, I go out for like a 10-minute stroll to kind of reset, especially when things happen like 3D prints are way off. Now, I've seen comments asking about like, oh, is that on the property, etc. Yes, everything that's in this B-roll is on the property, whether that's customer cars we're working on, bits of machinery around here because this used to be a quarry, and also because we're right beside a nice wooded area and there's tons of cool animals out here, and it's just refreshing to come out here and just shoot some footage and take a little breather. Now, this is a little different than the usual automotive channels you guys are watching, but that's okay. Kind of like how me coming out here every day to go for a little stroll is a nice reset. I like to add little breathers throughout the videos as well when I edit them of what I see when I'm out here.
Yep.
So I think what happened when I printed this file, I printed it in half. I chopped it in half, printed two halves. However, it wasn't in halves, it was in thirds. And I think I left part of the third behind. So the first print was this segment plus this little extension, right? The second print, I think I did this and left that extension. So that's the difference right there that we messed up, I think. Yeah, 401 gets us there, not there.
Right.
Confirmed. This right here should not be there. There's 40.
It should only be there once, right?
Yeah. There's like a chunk right here. It's doubled. And that should not have happened. I mentioned this before on the channel, but using a piece of filament from the printer, you can use like filler rod when you're welding. It's okay if it's not absolutely perfect.
Doesn't look like a stack of nickels.
You don't look like a stack of nickels.
Gotta pick it up slow. Ah! Every time it's filmed, it doesn't want to work. I'm trying not to horse this around too much because it's a plastic arm.
If he dies, Tony.
Okay. We can reprint another one.
I mean, so far it seems to fit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, honestly, I want the satisfaction of bolting it in completely, but I think it's proof that it fits.
And if it
Close
fits,
enough.
it ships.
Yeah, we just gotta get this bolt to line up.
You know, there is something inherently cool about making your own parts that like aren't just like sheet metal body parts.
Yes. is a satisfying piece to see in there, even though we know it can't stay like that.
I mean, we could test it.
No. I know that will fail. Is it worth testing something you know will fail?
I mean, I test your patience all day, every day.
Does it fail?
Sometimes.
You're still here.
Fair.
All right, so we know the piece that we designed is going to work, but the piece that we printed will not. So we contracted a company to machine the part that we have made the file for, because we don't have a large CNC machine. In the meantime, we want to get this thing rolling, and while we wait for that part to come in, we're going to reinforce the temporary pieces that we made so that they can actually drive rather than be pushed around.
This is a service to the viewers.
Yeah. And my heart needs that. It needs to see this thing, like, I need to push the pedal and feel this car go.
One thing that's nice about the new Eastwood VersaCut plasma table is it has a built-in shape library. So I can go in here, hit shape library, I can choose any shape I want. So for example, I can choose a square right here, right? Select it. And then on the square, there's 2 dimensions. I can input manual dimensions, and if we can cut it out, then we'll have the plates we need to reinforce the trailing arms. It's a handy feature that saves you from having to go, you know, for me anyway, all the way back upstairs, do the CAD work, put it on a flash drive, come back down, put it back in, all just to have a rectangle, when I can just do it right at the computer in the machine. A little overkill, but I think it'll work.
Now we got to cut 3 more out.
I'm thinking, you're gonna cut 3 more out. It's your turn to try and learn how to use the plasma table.
Yay!
I taught Tony how to use the table. Let's see if he can actually do it without any.
do it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell him anything. And see, we'll see if he can do it.
All right.
Can you teach an old dog new tricks?
I already forgot everything.
Well, the rectangle's already made. All you need to do is locate it on the plate.
Right.
And then cut it.
Yeah. I'm
And
looking
3
for
times.
Right. I'm looking for the button that locates it on the plate.
Oh, big brain Tony.
Yeah, I want to find a spot on here that this can actually get cut out of. So...
There you go. He did it. Tony doesn't waste material, Miller. I like it.
Yeah. I just splashed myself. Let that sit for a minute.
Not bad.
Actually, just 1 more, right? 1, 2. Yeah, 1 more.
Ah, Tony with a 10-degree angle cut to fit it in there and actually fit. Good job.
Yeah, thanks.
He already leveled up.
Yeah. All right, so we had these pieces on here that were temporary and helped us to roll it around, but there's the potential for this to rotate on that bolt. And obviously it's not that thick and it can flex this way. So we made these little plates so we can weld them on there. They're gonna sit against the arm here on either side, and that'll help keep it from rotating. And then obviously when that becomes a part of this, this will help support these this way so that they're not trying to flex so much.
Gotta love temporary.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, don't try this at home. This is also not going on a public road.
Yeah, this is just for our own enjoyment and yours.
It's also the trailing arm, not a control arm, but it's really not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, it's keeping the control arm from shifting forward and back, so it's not going to have a lot of load placed on it anyway. Put this glove on.
Get that hand in there. You know that you're doing the fab work when someone's wearing gloves and they're welding. I set a bad example sometimes.
Yeah.
Just weld through that tape, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right through the tape. It smells terrible.
All right. That should be pretty solid. That's not going anywhere.
It's like an orc weapon. You gotta put this on.
Yeah, look at all that great
It's so barbaric, but it'll work.
It is.
Look at those welds.
Yeah, I couldn't see. My bifocals were in the wrong spot.
I won't say it this time.
About how old I am?
Here, try this.
All right.
Your bifocals won't work in there.
No.
This will.
Yeah. All right. I need my bifocals to put it in. It's much better when you can see.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
So I actually got that for you sooner. That's not the last 2 welds.
Yeah, that's all right. It's temporary.
Mm-hmm. Look, now you can dual wield.
Yeah. Where's my other one? All right, so our caster arms are ready to install, but before we do that, our new used uprights showed up that we need for our axles. So we're gonna do that. Before I install these, I'm gonna make sure that the larger axles actually fit. Yeah. Yep.
Look at that.
And
check the other one too, just in case they're used.
Yeah, exactly. So, trying to get them as quickly as possible, I started looking around on eBay, and I found people advertising all kinds of uprights that definitely would not have fit. They were labeling Boxster Base, Boxster S, and 996 all as being the same, and they're actually all different. But these came from a reliable source, and that proved out to be correct because they fit.
Nice. Well, let's put them on.
Okay. Yes, I'm that good.
All you needed was a little bit of hammer persuasion.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, you're quicker to reach for the hammer than I am.
So another major thing that needs to happen before we drive this is the entire lower subframe and the engine carrier and other braces. Most of them are just tacked on right now, which is not going to be conducive to a safe first drive.
Oh, there it is.
Look here, it's like it's just kind of tacked and you know it's not ready to drive. So I'm gonna run through. I'm gonna weld all these spots that need attention.
This does not look good, but we want to start it.
Hop up in there, Tony.
Okay.
Let's check out our throttle
Work.
actuation and
Yeah.
stuff too. Does the throttle work? Look at that.
I couldn't see where the axle's moving.
Oh, they were spinning, baby.
Nice. All right, so it may have been obvious, but there were no brake rotors on there. We're still waiting on them to show up. They need to be Boxster S as well to match the new knuckles. So when they show up, we can actually, for real this time, drive this car.
This is just frustrating.
Yes, but that's what happens when you can only work on it part-time.
We are very passionate about both building cars and also making videos on that. And that also means that we show everything, the wins, the losses, the problems, when parts aren't here when we need them, the whole kit and caboodle.
But we're doing this part-time. We come in real early in the morning and then we have to stop so we can get back and work on all of our customers' cars and try and keep them happy too. We're doing this in real time. If you're watching it on Saturday, we were probably doing it on Thursday.
Or Friday.
Or Friday.
So if our progress seems slow at times, it's slow for us too, but thanks for sticking along for the ride.
But as close as we are now, even worst case scenarios, I just can't see any way that we aren't driving this by next week. This project in particular means a lot to me. We're using my dad's engine. We're building a car that is inspired by a lot of cars that he loved. And so we really appreciate that you're spending time with us as we go through this build. And we know how valuable your time is. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Now before we finish up, I need to tell you about our sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place on your own terms. Check out the link in the description down below to save 10% off your first website or domain.